Welcome, math partners in action. Let's talk about this problem involving a humidifier. Okay, for a certain humidifier to work properly, it must have 3 5/10 gallons of water or more within its tank. Water is flowing out of the tank at a rate of ½ gallon per hour. Okay, wait, look. We should talk about what a humidifier is real quick. And let's do that. Let's talk about what a humidifier is. And then we need to actually create a certain number line that shows the unacceptable level of this particular situation, okay? So we'll come back to the unacceptable situation, but first we have to talk about what a humidifier is. You may or may not know what that is, which is fine, so I want to help you define that. This is a humidifier, all right? Humidifier is a very cool device. We actually fill with water, and that it actually expels vapor into the air so that the air is perhaps more easy to breathe if it's a dryness in the air, or it's easier on the respiratory system to have more humidity in the air. Thus, it's called a humidifier. Remember, even growing up, my dad would say, "Oh, doctor says we need humidifier." This is old Persian accent, you know, to help us feel better with our breathing. So let's talk about it. In order for this humidifier to work properly, it needs to have 3 5/10 gallons of water or more in its tank. Let's actually draw it. That'll be fun. So it needs to have 3½ gallons. So let's say that much. I'm just making it up. I put it in red, it's kind of critical. It needs to have that much. It can't go below that for it to work. Water is flowing out of the tank at a rate of 5/10 gallon per hour. Okay, so then you can see the water level is going down by effectively ½ gallon every hour. And currently there are 6 25/100 gallons of water in the tank, 6 1/4 already in the tank. Okay, let's draw that. So let's say like here, this amount, cool, is 6 25/100 currently in the tank, and it's flowing out. All right, so we need to know, right? Let's talk about it. The number of hours. Let's read that question real quick. Complete the number line. X is the number of hours that the tank will have an unacceptable level. Okay, what is unacceptable? Let's write that. X is the hours that are number of hours unacceptable. Interesting twist. Acceptable. So let's talk about it. So we're currently at 6 25/100, and water is flowing out of the tank. So that means we're reducing, all right, at ½ gallon or 5/10 every hour. All right, I don't like that dot. There we go. It's a water droplet. And now we need to play around with this 3½. So what would be unacceptable? Would we be more than 3½ gallons? Or would we be less than? It must have 3½ gallons or more. So unacceptable would be anything less than that. Right, this is the danger zone. Right, 3½ exactly or more, look at that. I'll underline it, or more is cool. So anything that's not 3½ or more, which is less than, would be unacceptable. Now we can solve. Funsies. What should we do to both sides? Let's go ahead and subtract 6 25/100. All right, here we go. This is gone. Bring it over. We have negative. All right, negative 5/10 gallon X is less than. All right, I want to get this one right, so I'll go to the calculator here. All right, 3 5/10 minus 6 25/100, boom. Negative 2 75/100, rockin' and rollin'. Okay, isolate X by doing what to both sides? Inverse operations of multiply would be divide both sides by negative 5/10, divide both sides by negative 5/10. Divided by itself is 1x. What do we have here? Oh, I already have this one. negative 2 75/100ths divided by negative 5/10. 5 and 5/10. All right. What happens to an inequality when you divide or multiply both sides by a negative? Switcherama. Here we go. This becomes greater than. So if x is the number of hours, that would be an unacceptable amount for the humidifier. It has to be more than 5 and 5/10 of an hour, more than 5 and a half. Let's grab this and put it on the number line. Copy U, go. Paste U, boom, beautiful. All right, let's go to 5 and a half. Oh, thank you, number line creators. That was very kind. Do we have an open circle or closed at 5 and a half? Well, if it's not or equal to, it's not inclusive of 5 and a half, so we go open circle. And what does greater than mean? We're thinking of numbers bigger, more. Bigger and more implies those numbers to the right. So if the hours were anything above 5 and a half, above 5 and 5/10, then it would be an unacceptable level when the flow would be disrupted. All right, and then we'll have less vapor in the air. All right, that was a challenge, but we could breathe easy. All right, here's a problem about a meal account balance. All right, see if you could read that problem. Notice the construction is also about falling below something. All right, so make sure that your inequality and your number line represents that necessity. Okay, give that a try, please. Thanks for taking this journey with us. Look, setting up inequalities doesn't always have to be done the same way. Exploring it and asking questions, let's say about elevation or below the ground or less than or greater than. There's so many different ways of using these concepts to define our world. And define, we did, because I learned that I need to drink 126 ounces. And to meet my average, I got to do this. So wish me luck. Here I go. Learning and loving. Pulled it off. See you next time.
Thanks for watching the Solving Two-Step Inequalities episode. See you next time.